Hello and welcome to Is There Something in This, the podcast where Jason Chatfield and Scott Gooley come up with New Yorker cartoons. I feel like now I should throw to those two guys. And here they are.
Let's go to the tape. That was very good. That was probably the best one you've done for a while.
I'm not as hungover as you.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah.
Comparatively.
Yeah.
You did have a look on your face like, how is he making the words in the order?
I'm really hurting. Welcome back to the show. Thank you to everyone who came to the live pod. That was the last episode 42.
Yeah. We've been a bit lazy. We've been a bit busy and doing this, that, and the other thing. And
lots going on. But giving you plenty of time to listen and watch both versions of the pod. So
tell me about the watching thing, because someone said...
It's on YouTube. So every episode of Is There Something, and this is also on YouTube in audio format, but there's a video of the live pod that you can check out on YouTube.
Speaking of that.
Oh, dear.
I think I've got another place for us to put.
Oh,
okay. Now,
right.
I don't know if you're comfortable talking about this, but last week or the week before last, you got a very funny email.
Yes.
Now, I have an idea as a different... Now, this is a different place that we should upload the podcast.
Okay, well, just to give some context.
Give the context, and I'll tell you my idea. Okay?
Okay, so I sent this to Scott because I have a website and... you have a website, but every now and then I'm not sure if you get this, but it's like you get an inquiry that's a bit left of center, right? Especially if you have a comedy website, a comedian website. And in New York, you get all sorts.
Mike, your friend Mike Goldstein had the best one of these, which was...
That's right. Mike G.
Well, it's just like a one-line email from someone saying, thanks for your interest, Mike, but the client decided to go with a magician instead.
And his title was, "This is my entire career."
That was it. So
That's
everyone has received that email.
Everyone has received that email at all stages in their comedy career. I got an email that said, "Hi, Jason. We are a porn company."
Hello. Wait, can you? Now I know this might burn a potential bridge.
Okay.
Without saying the platform that this email is coming from, can you give me the name of the email? It's whatever it is at, and we'll...
Okay, Pink Twink Films
at
gmail.com, actually.
So immediately it seems very legit.
Very legit, yeah. We're a porn company with a few studios across the US. 2 exclamation marks. There we go.
Pretty impressive.
We're looking for guys 18 plus who are interested in doing some porn shoots. We film straight, bi, and gay porn and pay great rates.
Listen, say what you will. They are allies. You know what I mean? They're just... You got a hole, we'll get it filled. And I respect that. And that's what separates Pink Twink Films...
That's true.
...from your lesser...
Yeah. It's like a good SPAC filler contractor. Let me know if you're interested in doing this, and if you would like some more information. Now, I sent this immediately to Scott, and I said, "Interested?"
And to what I wrote back, I said, "I'm very interested in dictating your reply." So you wrote back,
and I just copy and pasted what you.
Excellent.
Yeah. Hi, Jesse. I wonder if I might see some samples of your existing work. I've heard horror stories and don't want to be taken advantage of. Regards, Jason. Right. Now, this is an ongoing saga, so I haven't heard back yet. I've followed up, just touching base, so to speak, and you will hear the updates as the weeks go on. So
now, when this was sent, I was like, you know what we should do? If we're on YouTube, we're on, like, it's very hard. We're on every single platform. Pornhub has a thing where you can just upload videos of yourself diddling yourself or doing like whatever. And an amateur thing, part of the Pornhub community.
Right.
I think we should join the Pornhub community. Because this is obviously, I mean, if it's going to be a great crossover for you when you start filming.
That's very true. I'll already have some runs on the board for Is There Something Inside This? Yeah. And then I'll have an account ready. I'll have an account ready to go.
And it's ready.
Pink Twink Films.
Pink Twink Films.
Good
Among others, I mean, I don't think... Listen, I'm not one to tell you how to do your career, but I think... I don't want you... just signing up with them exclusively.
Yeah,
I think you should keep your options open.
Just go freelance, you say? And if they sign me exclusively, then we'll talk.
We'll talk. But right now, I think you've got to keep your options open.
Way open. Options and legs. Okay.
Meth.
Meth. Go on,
Are you
then.
interested?
I got an email exactly like that from Craigslist once, because I got rid of half my apartment and I put a bunch on Craigslist and eBay and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Furniture, just cleared the place
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
And you wouldn't
For
believe
for Australians that don't know what Craigslist is,
man.
Craigslist is a service that puts victims in contact with the people who murder them. And you can
very convenient.
and occasionally you can get a second-hand couch, but it's mostly the murder thing, from what I can gather.
What I've realized.
So you being here is against all odds.
Yeah, if it wasn't from being hungover, it's from being murdered. It is an odd thing because I still thought Craigslist had some measure of, oh no, we'll delete the weird. No, you put anything up there. You could be selling a lamp,
fucking West out there, boy.
and you'll get an email asking for anal. It's a whole
Really?
thing. Yeah, you get the weirdest emails. My sister.
Listen, I know you've got a couch,
but I know you've also got an anus.
but 2 T's.
My sister's been trying to sell my dad's like furniture as well from his place, and at the same time, because he's moving into a small place, and it's so weird because she's getting the same thing but Perth version. So the Perth crazies on Facebook Marketplace, just the craziest people.
That's more frightening to me, Facebook.
Facebook
Yeah,
Marketplace.
because
you've got more
if-
information about.
Yeah, you've got more information about the person you're
Yeah.
propositioning.
Exactly. I'm not about it. I actually think it's pretty scary. But yeah, good news is got rid of everything. So I have a very minimalist clean apartment now.
But you did this just last week.
Yeah, plenty of room for all the mice we
That's
have now.
good. Oh, you got
Yeah.
mice?
Yeah, the exterminator's coming. Yeah. Boy, they're fun, aren't they? New York
I've
mice?
got I had mice once, and I asked a friend what to do, and she said, "You should call a man." And she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it that way. But I was like, "Oh, all right, then roll up these sleeves."
In a message, you should call a man.
You should call a man.
Call a man. Call a man.
Call a man. It sounded like call a man.
Why don't you email a man asking?
Ashika had one when we first started dating, and I wanted to appear tough, and I was like, "Listen, I'm from Australia, blah 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 blah." The solution was, we don't use that cupboard anymore.
That belongs to them.
Taped it up
That's
and went,
so funny.
listen, it's all about give and take, honey.
It was a compromise we reached.
Yeah.
It was an armistice.
I mean, how often were we cooking pasta anyway?
Leave the pasta to the mice, mate. Before I forget,
in-game as well, before you go.
Oh yeah.
See, because I've not watched a
Sure,
frame
yeah,
of
yeah.
these things, I have become my friend's. Well, you don't care about the spoilers. Can you believe? And I've done a lot. So I've spent a lot of time feigning interest and asking, polite follow-up questions and stuff.
I'm obsessed with it.
Well,
I love it.
and so I've been here. I've been like. Do you know what? Like Pink Twink Films, I am an ally, but for Endgame, and Game of Thrones people, that just are bursting to talk because we live near a cinema and we walk past, and the anticipation, people were like walking really quickly to get into the cinema, and it was, and
first daytime session I've been to.
Yeah, so I was just like, I'm into that. I'm not going to shit on that just because I didn't watch it. Like, I didn't watch it because I thought it was dumb or nerdy. I just never got around to it.
Well, you've started watching Thrones, though, which I'm about. I like that you've actually jumped on that bandwagon at the very end of the wagon. You've really come in at the end of that one. And that is, to be fair, that is, like Marvel, one of the greatest narrative experiments in film and television history, I think.
Well, I wonder if I was a bit because I got burnt by Deadwood.
Yeah.
When they just stopped it.
Me too. Yeah,
and now that, did you see the trailer?
What?
Oh, there's a trailer for the film.
Oh, I had no idea. This is news to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I heard there's a Sopranos prequel as well.
There's a prequel the Sopranos prequel, the Ballad of New Jersey, or
something like
Angels
that. Yeah.
of New Jersey or something.
Yeah.
The Angels of Newark or.
Angels of Newark Airport. No, I think it is about Chris Moltisanti, isn't it? I thought it was.
He's old man.
Yeah.
It's 20 years before Tony's lot was like in the 60s,
right? Right. Yeah. I'm going to see it. I love this product.
Yeah.
Before I forget, we have to plug one last thing. We are doing a live pod in California in a couple of weeks, a few weeks. Yeah. We're going out.
Book my hotel.
You did? Oh, you did.
Out in a day.
Baller. It's going to be a really big event.
And we can say who the guest is. We don't normally do this.
Right.
Bob Mankoff.
Bob Mankoff, cartoon editor of The New Yorker for 20 years and the current cartoon editor of Esquire magazine. And it's gonna be the 17th of May. Tickets at ncsfest.com. And it's Huntington Beach, California, Friday, 17th of May. It's going to be big. So jump on that. Any California West Coast listeners?
The rest of the thing sounds good. Like, this sounds like a good festival, right?
It's going to be massive, yeah. This is the first one of it. It's the biggest comic arts festival in all of America. So it's going to be really, really big.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
How you been with old Jokesy Jokes?
Okay, so I've got... This week I've gone with a quantity over quality approach because there's a lot like
I call it the writer's room approach.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff for us to kind of think about and like maybe this has been done or whatever.
Okay. That's all right.
This one is a Pearly Gates, St. Peter there, and I think this is what I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
What I wanted was to have people Darwin Awards kind of victims all in one area.
I love the Darwin Award.
And you know those idiotic ways people have died, and then have St. Peter kind of looking at his clipboard. Maybe someone's got the arrow through the head or something like kind of a bit comic-y.
Yeah.
And saying there's a bit of a wait for the stupid section.
But if you don't mind the bar.
That kind of.
That's so funny. Last night I was at a restaurant in Times Square, and don't ask. And then I went up to the guy, and he's like, "Do you have a reservation?" We're like, "Oh no, we just want to drink." And he's like, "Oh well, the bar's free, but you have to eat." We're like, well, "Hang on, what?" And then the next people come up behind us, and they go, "Do you have a reservation?" "No." "Well, you can eat at the bar." He's like, "I don't drink." So he just got angry. He said, "I don't drink."
Well, between you had the whole thing.
Yeah, we could have had a table of 4. But yeah. I like the idea of St. Peter being and I'm sure it's been done, but the maitre d' or the.
You had one where it was like a nightclub. You had St. Peter had the headset or something, didn't he?
That's right. I love St. Peter with a headset. The idea that they have like an iPad and a headset instead of a big book anymore.
Yeah.
But also
the idea Mother Teresa's traveling. Mother Teresa's traveling, telling the other parts of heaven.
What's her like presidential like Secret Service code name? Mother Teresa.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Like
Old Miracle Maid on the move.
Miracle Maid.
I don't know why I called her a maid. That's weird.
The canonized ball is moving. The canonized ball is moving.
She's got a briefcase attached to her wrist. Yeah. Okay. There's something there. There's something with St. Peter. Yeah. There's definitely something in it.
Because I think you'd have fun, like
Arrow
someone with
through
the
the
arrow through the head's
head.
probably just a bit more that's more. I was just thought of Steve Martin, but you know, if someone's got foam at the mouth and the Tide Pods, or
yeah.
Holding a selfie stick and they've clearly fallen down a ravine. You know, those kinds of. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're seeing a lot. I don't know if we're seeing a lot more. We've become a lot more desensitized, just generally speaking, over the last kind of 15, 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
To just being completely and utterly disrespectful of people that have died.
In a stupid way.
In a stupid way.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
even before that, the idea of like, this is a warning, know, but now it's like,
this goofball.
And if it's an influencer, all the better. Like, then it's just all bets are off, and people will just go and write mean things under their last post.
Is
something.
that the joke? Is it a bunch of people with selfies? Oh, well, the influencer section's actually
That's
full
good.
at the moment.
Yeah.
Because it's less linear. It's more having to arrive at it. That's not bad. Yeah, there could be something there.
I think influencer section's the
influencer
joke.
section's a little bit
Yeah,
fun.
that's
They've all got
the
the
joke.
selfie sticks.
Yeah.
Everyone's been chomped in half by a shark.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, all in bikinis and looking kind of...
Right. There was someone out the front of your place just today getting whole photography gang, I want to say, just getting Instagram shots. Like, she's in this massive dress thing right out the front of your bodega, which is...
Oh, right.
great.
It wasn't Bella Hadid, was it?
Yeah.
It was?
Yes. How did you...
She lives around here and she's always...
okay.
And do you know what? Until
Giving away your location.
Until yesterday,
Yeah.
I had no idea what a Bella Hadid was.
Oh,
but
yeah,
Ashika said it, and I was like,
yeah.
okay, who is this person? And apparently she was like... She loves that. She's always in that bodega.
Right. So, yeah, this is what they were doing. They were shooting her in his fancy dress. That's interesting. Okay, there you go.
Has this been done?
Okay. Alternate name for the podcast.
There's been... Yeah, right. I don't know how this looks, but the idea of a shoe section and the shoes are all like saying like positive things and it's like supportive shoes. Like, you got this, Sandra. You can take time to focus. Because the other one I had was like a clown at a chiropractor looking at his you need more supportive shoes. Like this is ludicrous.
Yeah. Those big floppy shoes. Yeah. Clown at a podiatrist is a pretty good setup, just generally. Supportive shoes, ally shoe. Yeah, supportive shoes. There's something there. I do like the idea of a clown in any situation, basically. Like a clown in a shoe shop going, do you have these in a 471? Like, do you have these in a 471 long?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 43 long. What's a funny word? 47 long.
Or is it like he's got the shoes on and he's looking in the mirror and asking it's like the shop steward or whatever, saying, I don't know, they make me look silly or like,
These make me look silly.
Yeah, something like
these make my bum look big. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Do these make me look silly is the joke, I think. That's funny. I think that's funny. I'll look it up. We always do after the show. If we don't, Ellis Facts Rosen does.
Ellis had a bit of a clown period. I was talking to him the other night about it.
He did have a clown period, yeah. A lot of clown jokes.
And really funny. He became kind of into the idea of the banana peel.
Yes.
Yeah, which I really liked. And the idea, there was one where it was like a banana peel in a police lineup and he was pointing it out.
That's
and
right.
There's another one where he's trying to, it was a clown looking at like the cork board with all the string leading this, and in the center was a banana peel, and he was really. Which I thought was just really nice jokes.
I really like that. Yeah, Ellis is finally in Mad Magazine, by the way. Congratulations, Ellis Rosen. Finally, they've discovered Ellis J. Rosen.
Good joke as well.
Great joke, classic gag.
It's funny how much more cartoony his stuff looks when it's coloured.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The backgrounds are sort of washed.
He has a real
definitely, and it's very Mad style as well.
Yeah.
He fits it very well. So jump onto our Facebook page, facebook.com/itsitpodcast, and you can see Ellis's cartoon on there.
This one, I don't know about this. It's a joke more than anything.
All right.
Pregnant woman looking at a tiny shower recess.
Yeah.
And all her friends are kind of looking around, kind of in an anticipatory way, like it's a surprise party or something.
Right.
And she's kind of disappointed, and she's saying, "It's adorable, but not what I had in mind." And it's a baby shower. Like she wanted a baby shower, man. So they all bought one little baby shower, and so I kind of like the idea that 12 people had never heard of a baby shower before,
and they all brought a small shower.
Yeah, they all chipped in.
For a small tiled shower. Yeah. And so it's a little recess in the actual shower.
Or maybe she's opened it up and she's like, oh, not what I had in mind.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I think it's her coffee table, mimosas, everyone around at the couch, going, ah. And the unwrapped gift is a small Barbie doll sized shower.
Yeah, something like that.
I think that's pretty good.
So, I mean, it's...
What is the baby shower? I mean, I know what it is, but what are we doing? We're buying gifts for your unborn.
Well, yeah, but it goes back to the same reason you give a married couple a kettle, so it's the idea goes to, well, here, we're all getting together to help you out because this shit's going to happen. So we've got you a pram, and it's
a community thing.
It's a community thing. Yeah, much like the gifts you give a married couple of cutlery.
So can you have a baby shower registry?
Absolutely.
Is that a thing?
Oh, absolutely.
So first of all, you got to buy him a wedding present, then inevitably, probably a baby shower
first comes
present.
Marriage.
Yeah. And then, comes the registration for the baby carriage. And it seems a little excessive to me, all these gifts. Especially, it's a lot in a row, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, and then you add the fact that you've got to fly to fucking Bali for the wedding.
Yes, I did that. I went to an Uluwatu wedding, yeah.
We've all been there.
All right. Yeah, I think there's something in that. Baby shower.
We had a joke which was the source of heated debate on Facebook, whether it's end of day or close of business.
Yeah, this got a bit heated.
Which... Well, I think we talked about on the...
We did. We're EOD, EOB.
And this was the thing, and...
In Australia, it's COB.
The COB lobby group came out of the woodwork.
They came out firing.
In election season. I mean, they've got other things to worry about, but I thank them. But
yeah.
But it is one of those things where if you see it, you're like, what the fuck's this idiot right? Anyway.
Right.
So I was thinking about that. It was I Want You Out of Town by...
It was a sheriff saying to a cowboy on a porch, I want you out of town by EOB today.
Yeah.
Right.
So what I thought about that is maybe it's the same picture, but the caption's different, which was I Want You Out of Town by the first Instagram post of sundown. Because, there's been some really spectacular sunsets the last couple of days.
Yeah. Sundown. So, because we were playing on Sundown.
Sundown was the twist.
I Need You Out of Town by Sundown. And because I think initially we were talking about noon or whatever, high noon or whatever. But high noon's a shootout. I Need You Out of Town by Sundown is the thing.
Is there any evidence any of this stuff happened? Or it's just from those spaghetti westerns? Definitely. That we're all like, no, they would never have spoken like that.
There's no historic reference at all to them saying noon or sundown.
There was a lot of singing.
Calamity came on a stagecoach. It was a whole thing. I don't know what the actual parlance was, but I know what the movie parlance was, which is what a reference is, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what a trope is, I suppose. But I think there's something about. Did you say first Instagram sunset post?
By the first Instagram post of sundown, because I like.
Yeah.
I was tossing up saying sunset, but I liked sundown.
Sundown's good. Yeah. Hashtag
because
sundown.
It's kind of.
Yeah. Oh, what if it's a cowboy taking an Instagram of a sunset and it's hashtag sundown?
Oh, that's not bad.
That could be something. That's a little simpler.
Yeah.
But I do like that one. I'm a devil for I'm a demon for recaptioning an existing
Yeah,
story.
I think because I love the image as well.
Yeah. Or there's a lot you could do with a sheriff pointing at a cowboy in a rocking chair.
I think you'll like this.
Yeah.
Two streets coming to one another. One's vertical, one's horizontal.
Okay.
There is a mob coming down the street.
Okay.
Towards the audience, but what do we call the person that's looking at the
reader?
The reader.
Yeah.
Toward the reader. Then on this side, there's a very well organized kind of procession happening as well.
Okay.
And there's two people watching it, and it says, "Oh no, that unruly mob is heading straight for that ruly mob."
That's good.
I knew you'd like that. The term ruly
Ruly
mob.
mob is my favorite thing. And it goes hand in hand with one of my jokes that I'm still not able to sell, which is the kid asking for sensible string. Party store. I still haven't quite figured out how to make that work, but I'll figure it out, like silly string and sensible string. A ruly mob is great. I have to check if Ellis hasn't done that already because that's a very Ellis.
It's got a. He had an unruly. I must say, I was looking at his Instagram today.
Mob,
he had an unruly thing, which made me think.
The
thing that
That's so funny.
Because I often look at his stuff and I'm like, God, that's such a good thing.
Yeah,
What the trope, which is a pretty common thing. I've got the New Yorker encyclopedia there, and I do the same thing and go through all the tropes.
Totally, yeah.
But he and I were talking about doing the Ancient Mariner. He had a few of them. And I was like, oh, that's such a great idea.
You have one about the Ancient Mariner, which was the epic story, bro.
Yeah, with the surfer. Epic tale, bro.
Epic tale, bro. Just the old mariner.
And he's like he's holding court.
Yeah.
Whoa, epic tale, bro.
It's so silly.
The other one on this was two people in the mob with the pitchforks and the thing and the stuff saying, we went from ruly to unruly so slowly, no one really noticed. Like
That's
that
pretty
idea.
Good. Frog in a kettle.
Yeah,
in a pot. Is that a political sort of?
I just like the word ruly.
Analogy.
I think
ruly
it's
is so
silly.
funny because it's like there's some words that aren't used in their natural. It's always unruly or unwarranted.
Ruly, I don't even think is a word.
I don't know. Is it ruly? Yeah, no one's really talking about.
I've never heard it.
Well, it's not a ruly mob, is it? It's an unruly mob.
Well, yeah.
It's an organized.
Well, an unruly mob's just a parade.
It's a
like
parade.
A ruly mob is a parade.
Unruly mob's just a parade. Yeah, pride is just a ruly mob. That's pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
Anyway, that's good. There's something there. There's definitely something there.
Dog on a psychiatrist's couch.
Go on.
There you go.
Shut up. Next.
And the dog is saying, my logical side knows it's rhetorical, but I need to know who is a good boy.
That's very silly.
I had a few finding out who's a good boy is consuming me, kind of,
Yeah. I mean that is there's so many who's a good boy sort of jokes, except that I don't know that I've seen dog on a couch recently. There's plenty of dog on a couch.
There's a lot of that, yeah.
But yeah, that's not bad.
Is there another one in Is there another one in a dog on a couch?
Yeah.
Looking at the psychiatrist, kind of puzzled, and the psychiatrist is like, "You know, you're not allowed on the couch."
That's funny. That's a great joke. Wow. I can't wait to draw that. Off the couch.
Off the couch.
That's fucking great. I love that. That's really funny. That's all right. That's it.
Oh, that's the joke. I think they're both pretty strong.
They're great. I'll pitch them both. I got tagged on Twitter. Dylan Galula. She said, "My mum has asked me to find the New Yorker cartoon where the dog has opinions."
Oh, I am so annoyed that we've got a name for this podcast because Dog Has Opinions is a great name for a podcast.
Off the couch is fucking great. Speaking of Twitter, there is so we sold one, by the way. We sold one to the magazine.
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
Yeah, which
it was my Outback Steakhouse pick of the week.
Oh, yes.
Which means, because your Outback Steakhouse pick of the week, which ran in the magazine a couple of weeks ago, which was Is Shirts versus Skins Really Necessary?
That's right.
Shirts versus Skins chess.
The chess game, yep.
That means you have to take me to dinner to Outback Steakhouse, but now I also have to take you to dinner to Outback Steakhouse.
Tonight.
We're going to do it immediately after the pod.
Very excited.
I'm very upset about it. I fucking hate Outback Steakhouse.
Can we talk about... Have you been before?
Never, ever.
Me neither.
Oh, really?
I'm pumped.
Oh, I'm not at all.
No, I'm really into it, man. You got to lean into these things. You can't... Like, if you're going with a bad attitude...
I am going in with a bad attitude.
Oh, why don't you take it to Palm or something afterwards?
Palm? What? Take me to fucking Cheesecake Factory. I did say on Twitter, Scott's dragging me to Outback Steakhouse. Any stupid menu recommendations? You wouldn't believe the slew of insane responses.
Oh my God.
Everybody has recommendations, including Run. Thanks, Maud Garrett.
Maud, can we just shout out Maud Garrett?
Oh,
Kicking goals in LA.
We've been catching up at every Comic Con since 2014, I think.
Yeah.
San Diego, New York. She's great. She's fantastic. But there's lots of art telling me specifically. In fact, Lindsay Tyson, a comedian, she goes, "Blooming Onion, and don't you dare complain about Outback in my hometown," which is North Carolina. "You have to make reservations to eat there." she's obsessed with it. So thank you.
I'm down, man. I reckon we're getting.
I don't know, man.
Can we just talk about one of the name of the chicken wings?
Kookaburra wings.
Don't care for that.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. This is one litany of horrible cultural misappropriations that I'm not looking forward to. But anyway, we'll report back.
I've got a few more.
Okay, go on then.
This one's. I've got to. Actually, you know what? I'll just finish. I'll just give you two dailies here.
All right, go on then.
This one is because the NBA's on.
Yeah. Okay.
The basketball, it's starting to get it to the point.
Glad you said basketball.
I know, but the way the confidence with you. Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah. March Madness? Yeah. Okay.
Also, just fun fact: got 9 from 9 in footy tipping this week.
Nicely done.
Yeah, I'm
accidental
very
or
no. I've been studying up.
Anzac Day game.
Anzac Day, yeah.
Hello.
The umpiring. Well done,
mate. Just quickly, you and I went to the dawn service the other day. We sat through the whole thing. No, lest we forget.
Oh my God! Well, how have we not talked about this?
You were shook.
I was absolutely
incensed.
Yeah, and she messed up the oath as well.
Yeah, what did she say?
She said they shall not grow old instead of they
shall grow not old.
Grow not old.
And you looked at you were like, fucking.
I love the oath. And when I hear the last post, and the last post didn't have the da-da-da-das either.
Didn't have the da-da-da-das. What is this
I
sham?
hear the oath and the last post, and I can run through a wall. There's something about it. It makes me cry. It gets me, man.
It's the only thing that makes me cry.
And it was the first time that I haven't cried hearing the last post. Ever.
Do you know why?
No da-da-da-das.
Because no da-da-da-das. I used to march with my granddad every year on Anzac Day. Now I wear his medals. Yeah. Accidental stolen valor last year. Put him on the wrong side. Whoops.
Stolen valor. One of the great subcultures on the internet.
Oh my God. You told me about it too.
Did you get into it?
Yeah, I did. It's a Reddit wormhole.
Oh my God, it's
crazy.
So good.
That admiral that
the colonel that went there looking for a bus ticket. She's awesome. But none of y'all got a bus ticket or a plane ticket, and the guy's like,
"Thank you for your service."
it's like, why are you wearing Vans with your uniform? She's like, oh, the boots give me sore feet.
Yeah,
so I'm just gotta wear my Converse.
When you left on the day, we were there with some mates on the dawn service, and you left and you gave the salute and said, "Wrong arm, dickhead." Anyway, sorry, go on. What are you saying?
All right. So the basketball.
Yeah.
So what happens? There's 5 guys on the court, and then there's the bench. And at the bench, at the head of the bench, are the coaches, and then all the players waiting to get on. They're in tracksuits and on the side of the court.
Sure.
And I've thought and sometimes the coach will stand up and kind of look down his bench and think, all right, we'll put Chatfield in for LeBron. Let's mix this up a bit.
Okay, all right.
But what I was thinking is if he looks down at his bench and instead of guys like big tall guys in tracksuits, it's a bunch of white guys with glasses, kind of like Napoleon Dynamite's brother, with the tweed shirt on, and looking and him saying like, they just don't respect our subs, like they're substitute teachers.
That's pretty funny. As soon as you said subs, I immediately thought of substitute teachers.
Yeah,
that's funny. I think there's something there, and visually I can see that. I can see the substitute.
And also, and there's a lot of good reference points for that. So, and the last one is with the Avengers thing.
Yeah, is
a superhero, just nondescript, any kind of direction guy that you had in the thing.
Yeah.
Watching the Avengers saying, this is creating unrealistic standards for superheroes.
That's very funny. That's very funny.
It's a throwaway, like...
I think in the same way that the last post is the only thing that'll make you cry, I think that and Endgame is the only thing that made me cry. But spoiler alert? I don't know if that's a spoiler alert.
Now, did you cry?
I did.
Or was it just urine coming out of your tear ducts because the movie is so long?
It's fucking 7 hours long, yeah. And I said, I went with my mate and I said, listen, can I FaceTime video you and you put it in the cup holder and call me so that if I need to go to the bathroom, I can watch it on my phone?
It's not illegal.
Not at all. But there's no reception in the cinema. They've blocked out cell reception, so I can't do it. Yeah. Anyway, so I cried at that. So I'm just holding this.
What, you cried at a 3G in the...
Yeah, I cried at 2G in the toilets. Oh, come on. All right. By the way, just before I jump into my jokey jokes for the week, you and I were out at we did gigs around the city, and I went to watch you do a gig, a stand-up gig recently, and it was You did great because I stayed for the rest of the show and no one else did well. You did the best out of everyone. And after you got off stage...
Oh, that's right.
What happened?
So, do you know what? I don't call this a heckle because it came from a good place.
Well, it also wasn't during your set.
It wasn't during the set.
So it doesn't count as a heckle.
As I was walking off the stage, and it was a bar show in the East Village.
Yeah.
And, some, great acts were on it. But and... I was incredibly hungover, and I was doing my jokes.
Little jokes? Little riddles?
Doing my skits.
As your mum calls them? Yep. Doing your little skits?
One of my famous skits.
Before you get a real job, yep. Yeah?
Can I also say, to anyone who is friends with a comedian or meets a comedian, if something vaguely interesting happens near you two, don't say, oh, you're going to put this in your show. You're not. It's not.
You're not.
It's definitely not going in.
There's, in fact, the fact that you said it now completely negates it from going in the act.
And also, have you seen my act?
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time talking about misogyny. So unless
there's in the wild an act of misogyny, you can put that in your act, in your little skits.
Yeah.
So you walked off stage.
As I was getting off stage, and there was this older, because it was a young hip crowd. It was an older Japanese lady.
I think she's Japanese American. Yeah.
And I was kind of like, I wasn't talking to her directly, but I kind of referenced her because she was in the light.
Front row.
And she was looking very polite and very demure and nodding along.
Yeah.
And then as I walked off stage and people were clapping and that was nice, and Patrick, the host, gets back up, she goes, why don't you just be a newsreader?
Yes.
And everyone stopped. Like I was walking
through
the audience and I stopped and went, Sorry, Patrick. What was it?
It was like an encore. It was like an addendum to the set.
But it wasn't,
Sorry.
it wasn't like mean. It was because I had a bit where I do a bit of a newsreader.
Well, it's not even that. It's that you having had radio chops for so long, sometimes you don't realize you're even doing it. Your presentation is so clean. Even on new bits, when you're working out new stuff, it sounds pretty polished because you've got chops.
Right.
Other comics are still a bit and ah. You kind of just sell it anyway. So I think she was like, boy, that is very, and you're very good looking. You could just be you've got great hair.
It was totally that. It was totally.
Good hair.
It was totally grandmother.
Tall.
It was totally grandmother seeing.
Yeah.
It was grandmother watching Jimmy Fallon and going, "You should be doing that."
Why haven't I thought of it? Thanks, Grandma. I actually there's a woman called
You're
Gladys.
better. You're taller than that Chris Hemsworth. Why aren't you in the movies?
Why aren't you Thor?
Well,
funny you ask.
Where do we start?
I was busy. There's a woman called Gladys who runs the comic strip, which is the famed comic strip, in New York. It's a big comedy club where Jerry Seinfeld started out. And she kind of what she will do is you'll do her show, and then afterwards she'll kind of audition you, really, and then she'll give you feedback if you want it.
That's good.
Yeah. When I was a tourist here, one of the trips I took, I think it was like 08, 09, something like that. I came over and I did that show, and she pulled me aside afterwards. And this is when I'm like 22, I want to say. She pulls me aside. She goes, "Listen, your act's funny, but you're too good looking. Go into acting. You won't make it in this business."
Wow.
It was the best, worst insult compliment I've ever had in my life.
That is a real insult sandwich right there.
Insult sandwich, yeah, and it should be noted.
Has she had her eyes fixed since, or what?
No, she got the LASIK and it went bad. Right. But she...
Jason got the gig feeding a seeing eye dog.
He actually watches the set and then barks it to her afterwards.
And you know who that dog is? You know the dog at the end of Ubu? You know Ubu? Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog. That's the dog.
That's the dog.
Yeah.
Little tidbit for you guys.
Yeah. After that sitcom money, he put some of the... I'm just going to stop that.
It should be noted that she is actually an ex-daytime soap opera star.
Oh.
Hence, I think her predilection for, hey, maybe you should go into acting.
That is a lovely...
It's a weird... There was when I had a jaw. Anyway, so...
You're a handsome man.
Jawline.
You're in ads. You're doing things.
I've got a face on a neck. That's something. Okay, so, by the way, we'll keep you apprised of the porn thing coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I've got some jokes. I was walking into your bodega, by the way, on the way here, just to pick up some chips.
Past the world famous
influencer
model.
And there's in New York, pretty much everywhere. There's these flyers that say Dan Smith will teach you guitar.
Oh yeah. My friend's named Dan Smith, and I always send it to him and go,
funny.
"You don't know shit about the guitar."
Teach me the bongos.
You met
dickhead.
Dan.
I think I did meet Dan.
Pressure.
Yeah. I know Dan. And they're everywhere, and they've become part of the zeitgeist at the moment. They're just everywhere. They're part of everyone's awareness. And the New Yorker have run like shouts with reference to it, from time to time.
Sure.
But I thought, what if it's Dan Smith shaking his fist in the photo saying, "Dan Smith will teach you to speak to his girl like that."
I like that.
Take a number at the bottom.
Yeah.
Just because it's, you peel off a number. Or
Yeah.
Dan Smith will teach you a thing or two.
I like Dan Smith will teach you to play music at 3 a.m. Dan Smith will teach you to play the guitar at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Dan Smith will teach you to play the guitar loudly. Yeah, that's pretty good. Anyway, so...
on a Tuesday night.
Classic. Okay, so first one, it's a desert island. It's a desert island cartoon.
Yep.
Love a desert island cartoon. And it is... he's leaning back against the palm tree. There's a skeleton next to him.
Sure.
He's clearly been there for a while. He's emaciated. Vultures are circling, and it's saying, "Ah, crap! I forgot to turn on my out of office."
Oh, that's not bad.
Something about out of office is funny.
Yeah.
Fuck! I forgot to turn on my out of office.
Yeah.
Because what do you put? Desert island. Anything urgent? Contact Colin Stokes.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
skeleton
Anything
next to
urgent?
him.
Send help.
No, not send help. Just.
No, I like that.
Fuck! I forgot to put my out of office.
No. I was thinking of what the out of office would be.
Oh yeah, out of office.
Yeah.
On desert island, send help. Anything urgent,
Yeah.
please.
But anything urgent, just send on to that guy.
Send on to my skeleton friend. Yeah. I don't know. Is there something in that?
I do like
There's
that.
something about it. I don't know.
We had a protracted conversation yesterday about eating people in a plane crash scenario.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
A lifestyle.
Here's my question. Is it in good or bad taste
Okay.
to cook the person in
Is this a
what would be
is that a-
traditional food for their locale?
Make a curry out of Rahul.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually very culturally sensitive, I would say.
This is what I was wondering, though.
And you
Or is
want
it
the
a
meat
bit
off
on
the
or is it a
bum.
bit on the nose to be like, oh well, because my wife is Indian. I was thinking, well, would we make you a curry?
Well, yeah.
And she was like, well, would we make you a meat pie? I was like, yeah,
Okay,
probably.
Yeah, put some gravy in there. No
Yeah.
worries. You get the good bum meat, some
Yeah.
fats. Yeah.
Oh well, I mean,
Bit of
it's
gristle.
lips and assholes, really,
Yeah, I know,
for
that's
a meat pie.
Pretty literally,
Hot dog,
literally.
yeah.
Get your lips and
Hot dog
assholes.
for an American? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, you'd turn an American into a hot dog or a burger. You would turn an Australian into a meat pie, and you'd turn an Indian into a curry. Yeah, I think that's culturally sensitive.
Thank you.
I don't think we've tread any delicate lines there.
Looks like,
by the way,
looks like the deeply offended people at my dinner party yesterday owe me an apology.
so what that dent in the wall is. I actually I've introduced a new.
I said, shut up and finish your Kevin.
Oh, maybe that's the caption to the hyenas eating the carcass.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up and finish your Kevin, because they do cannibalize, I think.
The
So they
hyenas?
yeah, because it's shut up and finish your father.
That was
Ronnie's
Ronnie's joke, right?
Ronnie's was,
Yeah.
I don't care if it's your father. Shut up and finish your.
Good joke.
You're not getting any dessert until you finish your
That
father.
was your... No, that's right.
I'm going to keep pitching that one. There's something in it,
There's
I think.
certainly something there,
There's
yeah.
got to be something somewhere there. I've just introduced a new Indian character in Ginger Meg's, and
Oh, yeah.
I got some. His parents, his mum's Sri Lankan, his dad's Indian, but he was born in Australia, so he's an Aussie. And I brought him in, but I wanted to get some kind of advice on it, so I called Dilruk Jayasinghe.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, listen, is it weird would an Indian marry a Sri Lankan or vice versa? Is there any cultural, head-butting there? He's like, well, there's a couple of things, but no, you're right. And he sort of helped me with it. So I've called the character Rahul Jayasinghe.
Oh, that's
He
fantastic.
appears in a couple of weeks in the script.
Oh, nice one.
So keep an eye out for that one. Yeah. And thank you. Basically, that was just a big thank you to Dill. Okay, here's one.
He's so handsome now.
Bloody love him.
I mean, he's always been... I always thought he was a good-looking guy, but he's so handsome.
Well, he's lost a ton of weight, you see.
But it wasn't even the weight. There's something about his,
His
just
structure.
his hair. And,
It's very
he's
symmetrical.
looking good.
We
He's
caught
very
up for
symmetrical.
we caught up for a beer in London last September, and I hadn't seen him for like 5 years, and he's definitely grown into his face. You know when people grow into their face?
Oh, he's so handsome.
Definitely grown into his face.
Okay,
Right,
what else you got?
that's our Dilruk section. Here it is. Okay, so there's someone. It's either a funeral plot or it's.
I can see why you were laughing while trying to say that.
died laughing. Or it's a morgue, with like
Even funnier.
classic.
I've probably heard this before because it's such a traditional comedy. Yeah.
That's actually, I just thought of something. It's another LSS kind of thing. Is it the morgue and they're lifting the sheet and the it's a dead clown and it's a banana peel going, yep, that's him.
Or what if
That
it's
was
someone
it.
lifting the sheet?
Yeah.
Like there's two people that work in the morgue, and then there's clearly a family there to identify the body.
Yeah.
And then and then next time, you've got to stop saying ta-da.
Oh, what if it's a magician in a morgue with a sheet over it and then doing the whoosh, just pulling the sheet away?
From underneath them.
That's great. Pulling the sheet and it stays there.
The person stays
Dennis,
there.
you've got to stop doing that. That's great. Or is it the magician with
Or is it the person and it's just in their head?
Yeah.
Don't say ta-da. Don't say ta-da. Don't say ta-da. Like
That's it. That's a joke. That's a great joke.
that's
And
a
he's
joke.
got the hat and the bow tie, the tails. Or is it two separate, clearly like there's a sheet over it, so you're not actually seeing it, but there's like half a person there, half a person there. It's like, yep, that's also him. Magician.
That's so dark. I love that.
So maybe it's a Mad Magazine cartoon. Let's try that. We'll give that a bash. Okay.
Oh, that's really funny.
It's just like a half person. Yep, that's also him.
Or what if it is
Also her.
What
'Cause
if
the
it's?
assistant's always the
I
one?
was going to say that's the joke. Yeah, it's
Yep, that's also her.
Yeah.
Yep, and he's very shit. He's very.
yeah.
Yep. It's his girlfriend or his wife or something. Okay, so on a fucking tangent there. So it's something
The morgue, yeah.
morgue, and the cause of death, exposure. He died of exposure.
Oh, yep.
Doing too much free work for promotional use.
Yeah.
Promotional means.
Yeah.
Exposure, I don't know if you've probably very often been asked to do gigs or whatever for exposure. Will you be a guest on blah, blah, blah for my, for it's a good profile build or whatever. A lot of freelance cartoonists get asked to do a lot of work for exposure. Illustrated, comic books, all that kind of stuff. Oh, I've got a good idea for a children's book. That'd be good exposure. There was an alternate version that I thought with exposure, which kind of flips it a little bit, which is a guy out in the wind. Literally dying of exposure. But saying, this is my payment. This is what I get for working for free.
I think
it's flip it the other way.
Yeah, I love that. The other thing, just to kind of throw another third unnecessary thing in there, is the indecent exposure. Someone flashing in a park.
Yeah. Will you do this? It'll be great indecent exposure. That's not bad. It's in Central Park. Like there's a guy playing the saxophone. There's a bunch of kids and the parents come, just like covering their eyes.
Yeah.
It'll be great indecent.
Yeah. Or the client couldn't afford to pay.
Great exposure with a flasher. I wonder where the line is there. For the magazine, rather. I mean, I'll draw it anyway because it's funny. But yeah, there's something there. There's something about exposure that I find funny because it's become something of a meme, I guess, that people just work for exposure. Oh, it'd be great exposure.
What if it is like it's the funeral plot and you can see here lies Bill Smith died of exposure, and the person delivering the eulogy is saying, and if you could use the hashtag sunkissed,
Actually, that's quite fun. There was something.
I don't know, mate. It's probably just one step removed. That
is it? Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, Sophie actually had one. Speaking of the plot, like a plot with a tombstone. Sophie came up with one the other day because she was in the middle of a conversation and I answered a call from my mum. And she goes, when I have to do your mum doesn't do your gravestone, I do your gravestone. So I'm going to say, here lies Jason Chatfield. Great son, terrible husband.
Oh, that's so funny.
Isn't that funny? Because the wife does the gravestone if she survives him. Great son, terrible husband.
That's really
funny. Is that a
funny
thing? Here lies.
Is that a joke? Have I seen that somewhere?
Dennis
Was that
Johnson. I think
signed on The Simpsons, perhaps.
Maybe. I mean, every visual gag between Mad, The Simpsons, and The New Yorker. Like Joe Data had the great one. I like the idea of it,
like loving like Fantastic Son, so bowler.
Yeah, It's totally average.
The idea.
Average yodeler.
Yeah, the idea of mentioning something is really unnecessary. There.
I like it, like a Twitter bio, like blocked by Trump. Like here lies Dennis,
That's pretty funny.
Father of Jonathan and Sarah, loving
I'd love
husband.
to see how those things have kind of evolved.
You're
like
right.
from what they used to be, which just used to be born, died, that was your life.
But it's a bio now. It's
but
like
now
a Twitter
it is.
bio.
Yeah.
What if it's
Mum, adventurer?
What if it's here lies Jonathan Smith, adventurer, explorer. Opinions don't reflect those of my employer. Is that what it is? Is that what the joke? The joke
He
is
likes Bill Smith. Retweets, not endorsements.
Do not equal.
The non-equal, the equal sign with the cross.
That's funny. Oh shit, that's great. So
Sophie's joke is a banger.
Yeah, great son, terrible husband. There's something about that for sure. I don't know what this. Oh yeah, is there something? I don't know.
Oh, fuck, that's so funny.
Yeah, you can help me with this. I don't know. This was another shower idea that just went nowhere. It was something about because there's been a lot of beware of Greeks bearing gifts. Like there's a lot of Trojan horse jokes.
Yeah, I've noticed a few of
about
them.
the Mueller report and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking, beware of Greeks bearing gifts, and then I was like, oh, Greeks bearing gifts. Like memes.
Yeah.
And then it was like, beware of Greeks sharing gifts. And then beware of geeks sharing gifts. And I was like, all right, that's too far removed.
It's a bit far, that one.
It's the seedling of an idea that never really went anywhere, but I want to plant it in the back of that dooley brain. And then probably next step you'll have you'll have arrived.
I think
at
that's
beware of Greeks bearing gifts, or like gifts. Everyone talks in gifts now, which I'm okay with. I'll be honest.
It could
They
be
say
a
a
bit of a
lot.
multimedia one,
Yeah, right.
like where there are just he's holding a stack of gifts and just those famous gifts like Weebay realizing and like, those sorts of
They're the most
things.
famous
the
meme
most
gifts.
famous ones, yeah.
Yeah, and but he's in like a sheet, like a toga, like an ancient Greek.
Oh, it's totally yeah.
That's what they're most famous for, unfortunately.
And anal.
Okay, well, here we go. Not for long, it'll be me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pink Twink Films get you on the roster.
All right, maybe I'll make this the last one because we've got to go to suggestions and Outback Steakhouse. Okay, couple it's at like a museum, like the Met, and big ornate paintings, sort of on the wall, big framed, whatever.
Yeah.
But a little portrait gallery, like a London portrait gallery. But they're looking at another painting, and they're going, "Wow, the eyes really follow you around the room, don't they?" And it's literally a pair of fucking eyes with this like trail of goo. It's
not with little feet.
No. Initially I thought little feet, but then I thought if it's a trail of goo along the floor that's clearly followed them around the gallery.
Yeah.
Like, how did it move? How do they move?
Yeah.
But it's just two eyeballs.
Is there something in them like saying it to someone? So
Yeah, they're saying it to.
The eye. No, it's saying to like someone that works there. The eyes keep following me around the room. Are they complaining?
I see. In my head, I thought
Or
it
watch
was.
out, the eyes will keep following you.
It was like a subtle lean of one of them to the other, like
actually, that's probably
the girlfriend
that's
or the boyfriend.
better.
Just going, boy, the eyes really follow you around the room, don't they? Just because it's so silly.
Yeah.
And everyone fucking says it still.
Yeah.
Everyone's at the Mona, whatever. They see a portrait. The eyes really follow you around the room. I just thought, it's maybe been done. I'll Google it, but there's something very silly to me about literalisms, and it can get a little ham-fisted sometimes. There's something very silly to me about literalisms, about those kinds of sayings.
Yeah, I think there's something nice.
There's something.
Just to twist it, like the president always has a portrait. Is there something in like the lies follow you around the room?
That's not bad. That's pretty good. Yeah, someone looking at the that Trump portrait that got painted with all the playing poker with like Nixon and whatever it was. Did you see that?
That's true.
The official Trump portrait. There's so much that's happened since. But there may be something of that, and then someone looking at it going, yeah, the lies really follow you around
that kind of...
Could be a daily.
Yeah, it's totally a daily.
Let's try that for a daily.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's great. I love that. I feel like Dan Smith, we've hit peak Dan Smith, but I do like the idea of at least drawing Dan Smith will teach you to speak to his girl like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good joke.
Could be something. Okay, so with suggestions, thank you for sending them in.
If it's just Dan Smith will teach you a thing or two.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. If it was, and it's just him shaking his fist like man yells at cloud.
Or like tough Andy Richter in Arrested Development. You remember that? Isn't that a great character?
I love tough Andy Richter. Okay, so I'm holding off some bangers for the live pod in May. So make sure you come out to that because I don't know if you're storing up any bangers, but I am. No. It's going to be good.
No, just going in
no bangers.
Whatever I've got.
Whatever you've got.
All bangers. I'm on an all banger diet.
You're an all banger diet. You're in ketosis for gags.
I'm like a miner during Thatcher era. Just nothing but bangers.
Nothing but bangers.
Bangers. No mash. I don't even have mash anymore.
Not even any mash.
Well, I'm keto, so
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's carbs, isn't it? Okay.
Is that what keto is?
Well, I think keto is all like veggies and meats and fats and stuff. There's no pasta. There's no carbs. There's very little starch.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I think that may be how Dill got so handsome. I'll give it a bash.
That's all right. Well...
Certainly none of that on the menu at fucking Outback.
Yeah, exactly. You can take my red sauce pasta over my
cold dead
hands.
My warm, sticky kookaburra wing hands.
Yep.
By the way, thank you to everyone who sent in suggestions. You can send them in to facebook.com/itsitpodcast or, just DM me on Instagram, whatever. But I prefer to get them all in the same place if possible. Suggestions have been coming in thick and fast. I would like to thank everyone this is a new thing we're doing, and I think we'll do it every episode now.
Okay.
It is, I posted a cartoon and asked everyone.
Oh, the captions.
Give us a new caption.
Yeah, there's some good jokes there, right?
Bangers. Really, really funny.
So what was the image this week?
So the image was, it was a woman on a date with a beekeeper, full beekeeper sort of costume, the big mask and the thing. And
what was our one?
Our one was It's Not You, It's Bees.
Beautiful.
I pitched it to the cartoon editor as a, hey, cartoon caption contest. Any idea? Would you like this? She's like, we're completely full. We're at capacity. We've got too many. So I was like, all right, well, fuck it. I'll do it myself. So thank you to everyone. There were some really funny ones. Reese JF said, so you know the setup. His caption was, no, my profile said, make you feel like the queen.
That's pretty funny.
This is my favorite one, Andrew Barnes. After one date, I knew he was a keeper.
That was my favorite as well.
A keeper. That's great. Isn't that good?
Really good joke.
So, what do you do?
That's the winner.
Yeah, that's
I didn't see that. Who
Brad
wrote that?
McNulty wrote
Brad
that one.
McNulty.
That's pretty good.
McNulty's a bit of a regular, right?
He is.
Yeah,
MVP.
He's had some good jokes.
Really funny, Brad.
Was it Brad McNulty that did the horse on the horse?
No, that was Luke Watson.
That was Luke Watson.
Yeah,
Watto
yeah.
Creative.
He's also, he's got a suggestion for next week. Paul Harris.
It's a bit of sizzle for Watto Creative.
Yeah, right. Paul Harris. So, well, that's the first and last time I used Bumble.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
That's pretty good. There was... here we go. It's never been about the honey. That's Steve Panozzo.
It's funny.
It's funny.
I mean, what do you do is still the
beekeeper
winner.
talking to her, because I've drawn the woman with glasses. Bradley Kenner said, look, if I'm being honest, I'm a little disappointed your profile didn't say anything about the glasses.
That's funny. That's really good.
Porky Geggy, I've been stung before.
That's
and classic Sinclair Breen, truly, Susan, I envy no man. Thank you very much for those.
Great.
Those are all bangers.
They're good.
So yeah, jump onto facebook.com/itsitpodcast. We'll chuck another one up and you guys can have a stab at it.
Maybe the Cowboy on the Porch.
Oh yeah, all right. I'll chuck Cowboy on Porch up and you guys can come up with a new...
Because we've had not only 4 or 5 different captions, but 4 or 5 different angles on that joke.
Totally.
Yeah.
And even if there is like an adult, if you a tweak, maybe mention it. But yeah, we'll chuck that one up and see what you guys come up with.
Can we do that? Or is that bad?
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, beauty. All right. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. I reckon it's time for me to bite the bullet and just go to fucking Outback Steakhouse with you. You're
bloomin' onion. Bloomin' onion.
Oh,
do you know what I'm going to do?
What is a bloomin' onion? Yeah.
I'm going to do... And that's the other funny thing. We don't say bloomin'.
We don't even say bloomin'. Bloomin' is a British
thing.
They don't even say bloomin' anymore.
No, not unless it's an episode of Minder. You're not going to get the term bloomin'.
or the second season of Yes Minister.
Yeah.
There is something about, because in the menu it did say classic Aussie tacos. That's a real.
The Alice Springs quesadillas look good as well. Because you and I have both independently looked at the menu, and you came in and you went, they've got Kookaburra. I know they've got Kookaburra. All right, mate.
Sophie has already picked out all the things I'm going to fucking buy.
So, what I'm definitely doing is...
Steak and martinis?
Bring me your most expensive bottle of wine.
Listen, make it 2. I can afford 15.
I can swing that $30
for 2 bottles of.
Well, if we get a martini,
Yellowtail, yeah.
This is a conversation we never.
I'll get a Yellowtail martini. All right. Episode title. That's the episode title. See ya.